What's going on, guys? This is Frank Hatzis, and you're in Rope Dart School. Welcome to Rope Dart School, where we talk to dartists from across the world who are making massive waves and a positive impact in the rope dart world. My goal with this show is to introduce you, dear listeners, to what these aspirational dartists are doing so that you too can become a living rope dart legend. Okay, I am so excited for our guest today. This dartist is from Quebec City, Quebec, and has been rope darting for 18 years. He is a black belt in Hunga Kung Fu and a lifelong martial artist. This dartist is a Rope Dart Academy instructor, a Rope Dart Academy co-founder, and will be teaching at Dart Arts 2025. From tutorials and live classes, this dartist is also a personal teacher of mine, even more so, mon frère. Dartist, the one, the only, Philippe Poissant.
Hey, how are you, mon frère?
I'm doing great. Welcome to Rope Dart School.
Thank you for inviting me. Much appreciated.
Thank you for being so patient because this is our third attempt to do this. My schedule just kind of got a little bit crazy and out of whack for a little bit, but I'm getting back on track, and I'm glad we got to do this today.
Yeah, you got the best excuse in the world, so.
I do, right? Sometimes I like to think I have a lot of the best excuses in the world, but I know what you mean. We got the new little dude, the future rope dartist in the house now, so for sure. Yeah. Well, I do want to start this podcast the way I start all of them by asking you, what got you into rope dart?
Kung Fu. Pretty simple. To delve on the details, I would say that it was not at the start because in the school I went, my Sifu didn't know this weapon, but he did know Jujibian, which is a chain whip or whip chain. So I began learning flexible weapon and with the Jujibian in maybe a year, maybe 2000. So I've done 7 or 8 years of Jujibian way before knowing about rope dart. And and at some point, maybe a year before I left in 2005, I got all my stuff. I bought those 2 VCDs at the time where they're all in Chinese, so characters, language, everything is in Chinese. And it was a package, so I bought a Jujibian and the rope dart VCD. So but I only looked at the chain whip VCDs, and 2007, it has been a year since I left the school, and I thought about myself, hey, I had this video, I think there's something. And exactly, like, I think it's Ben who used the tip of a whip chain for his first rope dart. Same thing. At some point I was like, I don't have things, but I think the tip of the whip chains, this whip chain I could try. And it was love at first sight, love at first try. And since then I remember about the VCD, and the most I could find at that time was you and David Lopez, Rolling Fire Dragon. So I had a couple of your tutorials, and for a couple of years we were kind of the most active ones in the beginning during this era. So you definitely were one of my most inspirational dartists from the beginning. So
oh well, thank you. I mean, that's a very that feeling is very mutual because you're actually one of only 3 people that changed the way I rope dart on the planet. And it's, I've been influenced by everybody and I've learned things from everybody. It's not what I mean. But when it comes to,
Yes.
like the DNA level rope dart, like when you look at somebody's style, my style
Mm.
is influenced by you and two other folks, two other dartists. So I appreciate that so
Oh.
much.
It's mutual. It's same for me. At the beginning, we were pretty much the only one to dare to find new moves, new raps, new things. Why would we stick to the traditional and repeat all over same classical traditional movement? Uh,
And
and it's
and there's a place for that. I love, and I know you do too. I know there's a place for the classical, traditional wushu style rope dart, and I mean that's really, for you and I both, that's what got us into rope dart. So we're never going to deny that. Yeah,
no.
um, but it should be expanded upon, and it sounded like that's where you were going with your thoughts.
Kinda. It's just that I feel that one of the main things that drives me still today and still for everyone, I guess, is finding something new on your own. It's like okay, I know all of I could find on the internet, but hey, I did this and I never saw this, and if I try to repeat this and comprehend it, understand it, it opens new ideas, new ways, new, should I do this? And the beginning was like that. Should I opt out from traditional rope darting? Should I be doing this or it was that phenomenon too, the fact that nothing at all contemporary existed at that time.
Yeah, it's true. And even just going back to some of the other weapons you were speaking of, the Jujubee, which is also known as the chain whip. It's funny because I had a similar beginning there as well, where I started the chain whip, but where you did the chain whip for, you said about 9 years,
Yeah, 8 years,
about 8 years,
minimum
call it
8 years.
8 years. And then found the rope dart. I did the chain whip for about 2 months, and then I found the rope dart, and then I never touched it again. And I think that's what
Yeah.
happens. You start with the chain whip, you go as long as you can until you get introduced to the rope dart, and then that's it. You never touch the chain whip again.
Yeah, no, because that was pretty much, I would say 90% of chain whip techniques that you can sort about with rope dart. There's some behind the back rotation or some things that you would need to remove the anchor to be able to do some kind and shorten the length, but you cannot do wraps and shots per se with Jujibian. So, and that's pretty much what I like most. So
Right, for
yeah, of
sure.
course, I never touched Jujibian again
All
after
right.
nothing else. So, but
Oh,
it's funny. If I can bring another point, I don't know. I think it's Olivia who talked about cross training. And it's funny as yeah, and you're facing at some point some people that say, but you should I know that you also did nunchakus way before rope dart, and uh, beyond multiple props to comprehend different aspect of rope darts or flexible weapons. I feel that I don't need to cross train multiple props if in my life I already do multiple arts. I play guitar, I do rope dart, I do kung fu, I do tai chi, and I consider this to be cross training, even if it's not a prop in itself.
Oh, I agree 100%. And look, man, I rope dart. I don't pick up anything else. I really don't. I'm glad the other things are out there because variety is great. It's the spice of life for other folks, I
Absolutely.
guess. But, there's something even deeper in that. It's not only do I just love the rope dart, I guess philosophically, and I'm going to ask you your opinion on this. I feel like philosophically in life, if you want to be really great at something, you have to pick one thing. Do you have, and that's how I feel. You could disagree, or how do you feel about that?
I agree 100%. one of the main aspect and maybe less known aspect of Hungar would be the 10 killing hands mentioned by Wang Feiyong. Some people say, I don't know the form. What's the form? Basically, it's not a form. It's just practice 10 of your favorite techniques and drill them and drill them. And you'll have everything you need in your own practice. You'll sort that out. So I think it gets down to that a little bit too.
For sure. And, when I say one thing, it's, that can always expand. So it's focusing on, say, the rope dart. That's the one thing, but you can also make tutorials. You can make gatherings. You can write books. You can connect with others.
Competition.
You could compete. I want to go there with you. But so it's picking one thing and then staying within that bucket, if you will, but understanding that's a pretty wide space and you got a lot of room to maneuver. And because you brought it up and we're on the topic anyway, with regard to the martial art aspect of rope dart, you and I have competed together, I believe twice. Was it 3 times or 2 times, I believe?
Maybe three times.
Yeah, I think I came. Well, so I've competed in Canada 3 times, but you and I competed together twice.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, okay. But I remember that one, the first one, I don't know if we recorded anything, but I know about 2015, 2017. I think those were the
Oh
years.
no, I'm pretty sure we have both of your competitions on recorded on
Yeah,
YouTube. Yeah, it might be on my YouTube page, um, but I'm pretty sure it's there. And
yeah. I'm sure
that
I got
was
one.
say that again.
I got one, of course. I got the last one, so
Yeah, the second one. I think we have the first one too. That was cool though, because that first time we went, we had Francis Dubé and Simon, and also Snow came up. So we kind of had, remember, so we actually had a rope dart team
yeah,
up in Canada that time, which was different for me because I would go to these competitions by myself. I'd be hanging out by myself, twiddling my thumbs. But this
yeah.
time, we all went together. That was amazing.
That's true. That's true. Never realized that aspect, but yeah, it was a team, a rope dart team, only for this.
Yeah. And it's funny in that not only so Quebec City, that's also where I guess I'll say that I officially retired from, Taolu wushu style rope dart. I remember I was there. You weren't. I did the competition. It's the Quebec City Open for anybody who was interested. Great tournament. It's on the NASCA circuit. It's awesome. I was just there, and here's the story. If you want to hear the story, is that okay? I um I was there, and it was a good day. I had a good runs with my rope dart, and I was tired. I was hungry, and I walked past a ring, and it was the like 55 and older ring, which is fine, but it was the musical weapons division. And there was a guy, he was an older guy, like a grandfatherly type, and that's not in a disrespectful way. I'm just painting a picture here.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to being a grandfather one day. So, uh, an older guy, he's doing a comma form to Michael Jackson's Bad. And yeah, and it was bad. It was just so like, and he was into it. He did the moonwalk in this thing, and it was just like he's doing the commas on a moonwalk,
Really?
and I'm like, what the hell am I? I was like, you know what, man? You always knew there was just going to be a time where you said, "This is it. This is your sign. You're done." And I watched that guy, and I was like, "You cannot end up here, man. There's no way." And that was it. I walked away. I never competed again.
Yeah.
True story.
What do you miss from competition?
I want to say winning, and that's really, I know that's obvious and easy to say, and it's true. It might, people, anybody listening might have a problem with that and try to find deeper. And to win something isn't shallow, because I guess when I say winning, there was a lot of practice, a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of travel, a lot of money, a lot of all kinds of things
Yeah.
that got me to that win. So, the journey was rough, but that destination when I got there was awesome. So when it was hard to put all the time and effort and travel, all of it to go lose. That sucks, guys, that sucks. So winning, that was the best part. Being on stage in Canada for the finals in front of everybody.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
dude.
And I was live streamed, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty big. Yeah,
That would
yeah.
dream come true for me. What
Oh
about
wow.
yeah, what
Yeah,
about you?
I'm glad that it happened in Quebec. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
great.
Yeah. But
Uh,
yeah, what about you though? For competing, what was your favorite part?
you brought it up, but I never won. But I was not going there for winning. I was going there to challenge myself to do the complete preparation for competing. So it was way more the aspect of okay, I gotta stay into those parameters of competing. I gotta reach a minute form. I gotta drill. So at this speed, I will have a consistent speed. I will end up at 1 minute. So it's a numerous limited number of techniques of combination. And with time, it was okay, but the judges are there. So if I do complicated stuff over there, it's not interesting. So how could I? And the second competition, I just decided to, well, I'm not there for winning. I'm there for having fun, but mostly ending the all the steps that are needed to get to the mat, and uh, the adrenaline rush you get when you're okay, it's my turn. I gotta bow before entering the mat. I gotta place in the center. I gotta bow. I gotta present myself. I gotta stand, and then I'm going all rampage, and it's over. I gotta bow. Just the structure, all of this. Uh, that's what I miss the most, the fact that the preparation process for 1 minute, you can train for weeks,
Yep.
and that's it. And I wouldn't, I don't even remember if I messed up at some point. There's an adrenaline rush, and it's just fun, but it's also less accessible, I would say, for the common people. You gotta be into martial arts to kind of live this.
Yeah, you got to train hard. So it's like even if you weren't a martial artist and you
Yeah,
followed, say, your training protocol to get ready for a rope dart tournament, I think the person would do well. But I think that the one aspect to getting good at competing that you cannot train is physically going and doing it and getting the experience, because you're gonna, well, not you, I mean, you were pretty fantastic
thank
both
you.
times you competed. And let me tell you something, just so that we're clear, because the second time you competed, your rope dart form was beautiful. When it comes to a traditional, what Wushu would call optional, meaning that you designed and created the form, it was probably the most beautiful optional Wushu form I've ever seen. And you and I were, I would say, very close in our skill and ability. And the only reason that I won is because I had been competing at these tournaments so many times and the judges knew me. And that's for anybody listening. No, let me tell you something. For competitors out there, if you're at a tournament and you're competing against somebody else or a bunch of other folks, all things being equal in skill, but they've seen you competing for years, busting your ass, you're still here trying,
Wow, get
you're
it.
100% going to get the gold medal. There's no question
Okay.
about it. So here's the tip, guys. Just keep going, because when
Yeah.
it's your turn to win, you will.
So when's the next time we compete?
I was going to ask you, actually, that was my next question. What's the, I just got my passport renewal. So,
Really?
I could always come up to Canada. You could come down to America. Would you ever be interested in running it back?
Absolutely. I've never experienced a Chinese tournament, and if I could have the chance to do a barehanded forms, typical basic form of Hongar into different categories, I would be so stoked, and having a rope dart. Uh, in a Chinese tournament for me would feel different than the karate tournament. So I would be maybe a little more stressed, but way more hype too.
Well, you're going to get a lot of appreciation and folks that know what they're looking at when you compete in a Chinese tournament. So
Yeah.
I think we should do that. There, I wonder if we could get like an entire team of dartists to go descend on a tournament somewhere, and it doesn't matter who wins, who cares? Just show up with like 30 of us and be like, judges, you guys figure this out, and just make it. All right, we're gonna do this. We have to do
Yeah.
this.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, of
Oh
course.
yeah, yeah. No, we're gonna do this. This is good. This is good. I'm gonna put a call out. We got to do this.
Great, great. I'm all in.
Perfect. Okay, so Phil and I, we will once again meet on the competition floor. And what I like about it is because you and I go in and we compete while we're getting scored against each other, we're going with the same brotherhood and fellowship and
Oh,
friendship for each other.
absolutely.
So that's like
Yeah.
the best part about it. And I'd love to share that with a lot of our rope dart brothers and friends and sisters and everybody, you know?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
All right. So you are also going to be there's a lot I want to talk about here, but we'll just start at Dart Arts 2025. You'll be teaching at Dart Arts 2025, and this is your third year, I believe, teaching,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
third year. Yep. And do you want to go with, well, number one, thank you for returning again and giving the good Dartists and students that come all the way to Dart Arts great instruction, a wonderful experience. It is the ultimate rope dart experience. Do you want to talk a little about, or let's talk a little about some of the classes you'll be teaching? Let's start with the more beginner intermediate class, and then we'll move on to the more advanced class you'll be teaching.
Yeah, I'll be teaching shots, basic shots, so foot shots, knee shots, elbow shots, typical, all typicals. But again, it's in between beginner, intermediate. You can add flares to it, but everything in rope dart ends up with a shot. So you gotta master the basics. You gotta master the shots, and even for an advance, I did last year. I did the shot classes as a participant just to refresh myself. You know, it's like, oh yeah, yeah, there's small detail. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that, and I really think that it's a from the utmost importance to be practicing and mastering shots as a first couple aspects of rope dart in the beginning.
I would have to agree 100%. That's why we put in the Rope Dart Academy curriculum, that's why shots is 102, because you're going to learn spins first, which makes the most sense. And then, as Phil pointed out, and this is what I tell my students, like once you get to like everything we do in the spins class, you could do with a chain whip. You could do with a
Yeah,
point, really.
yeah,
But
exactly.
once you get to the shots class, now you're rope darting. Now it's different. Now you're projecting it out, retrieving it. It's, you know, it has the weapons aspect of it, but even if you take the martial aspect out of it, it has that performance element to it, shooting something out, pulling it back in. So the shots class will be great for everybody going to Dart Arts. We do have, again, it's great for beginners. It's great for everybody, all skill levels. And Phil will be teaching one of those beginner or introductory classes on shots. Now, you're also teaching a little bit more of an advanced class, and this is the one I want to focus on because we have some history here. But what's the second class you'll be teaching?
I'll be teaching non-stalls mainly through Overlord technique. So it's I think it's one of the most renowned technique when you're kind of passing the point of beginner. You kind of two wraps, you're behind the back, and it's a typical move, traditional move. But I'll be teaching the non-stall aspect, non-stalling aspects of rope dart with this class.
That's great. And, you know, I love the fact that you're teaching non-stalls because You taught me non-stalls, and you're a very good instructor. You break it down really well.
Oh, thank
Um, yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember the day you taught me non-stalls and some other folks?
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. In Boston, a bunch of people again, premises of Rope Dart Academy. Uh, yeah, yeah. And I know that you stuck on the, oh, you gotta look, you gotta look, you gotta keep your eyes on the dart. So, especially as it's behind your back, at some point you lose it. So you gotta, oh, it's there. And you get the timing when you can see the speed and where's the dart.
For sure. Yeah, I tend to think that when it comes to the basic foundational introductory non-stall overlord, there are three elements that'll help any beginner. One, you always want to make sure that the leash is underneath your lead armpit, not above it. I know some folks don't rope dart that way, and I think it's incorrect. That's just my opinion. So, number one, make sure it goes underneath your armpit. Two, make sure the leash that's going across your chest from your anchor arm all the way to your lead armpit and to the anchor elbow is tight. And three, as Phil just pointed out, when you actually go to do the non-stall, visually follow the dart as it arcs around your body. And it really helps in learning the foundational steps to it to nailing the technique more consistently.
Yeah, and with time, when you acquire experiences with, especially with non-stalls, you get to find that rope darting is so much feeling, proprioception, if I can
Yeah,
say. So at one point, you won't even need to look at the dart because you will know the speed you are going, and you'll know the timing that you'll need to move appropriately to into the spins. And it's just that that's a fun aspect of non-stalling. At some point, you know where you are going, where the dart is going. You feel it, you feel the tension, and you feel that just behind it, it must be there, and then yeah, it appears where it should be. So it's it's a, as it is a lot of feeling. It is a an object that you must feel a lot. Uh, that feels magical.
I couldn't agree more. And what I love is where we've gone in the non-stall world because years ago it was just a non-stall overlord. That was pretty much it.
Absolutely.
And you can also enter it as a dragon wrap. So you call it a dragon non-stall, but it's basically an overlord, non-stall as well. But now we have a dark reel, a belt, a scorpion. I mean, you can non-stall most wraps. And that's, in speaking what or in touching on something Phil said earlier, that's a lot of what the modern rope dart has contributed because an on-stall is a traditional technique. They have that in the traditional wushu forms. There's an on-stall overlord. It happens. But all the other non-stalls is a product of the modern, more flow, fire, performance-oriented rope dartists out there. So it's kudos to the rope dart continuing to grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It must.
So moving away from rope dart for just a second, I did want to talk to you about something that I think is super important for anybody out there, whether you rope dart or play the piano or tennis, it doesn't matter. And that is with finding a nutrition plan that's right for you because everybody's different and we all might deal, again, it's on a scale more or less with certain challenges because of the way we eat. And I know that you've really honed in eating that is perfect for your body. If you want to give some background on this or tell us a little bit about this journey that you've been on and this overcoming of, I mean, we're friends, so I know some of the obstacles personally that you've overcome, and I'm not going to share them. I invite you to if you feel comfortable.
Well, that is a very long haul, meaning that knowing that I'm into or was, I'm not sure because it's going very well right now. I could say that I've been into the insulin resistance spectrum for maybe 29 years. I know that at 17, 18 years old, my aunt put me some Vaseline with baby powder to make the white eyebrows. And following this particular event, I began having eczema and skin problems. And now I know that I was into the insulin spectrum, resistance spectrum at that time. So I delve into a very stressful job, working around emergencies in environment. And at some point, 17 years ago, I developed a autoimmune disease that began with psoriasis and evolved into arthritic psoriasis. And as I was doing a 20 hours a week for a minimum 20 hours a week of kung fu teaching. And even after I left school in 2006, I spent like 13 years training every single day in a park where I met many people, kung fu people, rope dart people. I talked to some people. It was a very long journey of trying to find what would cause my disease. And unfortunately, as I was really hard on my foot and really hard on training, cortisol just, exacerbated the insulin resistance spectrum. And now I think I'm out of insulin resistance, but I have a desensitized cortisol, so I must work on this. And the only thing that I could do for myself was, if doctors, you go to a doctor, and what you have a skin problem, you have a skin symptom, here's a cream, here's a dermatologist. You have arthritic symptom, here's a rheumatologist. Yes, but it's autoimmune disease. I'm not prescribing you an immunologist, because everyone would see a specialist about immunology. So they only treat the symptoms. And what my questionings at that moment was, how can I find the cause of my symptoms if they are not doing it for me? I have to do it for myself. And if there's one thing that is near black and white in medical science, I would say near, because it's pretty much accepted. If your disease is not genetic, it's metabolic. And everything metabolic can be healed with food. So I was, okay, I'm gonna try, and many things. I tried so many diets, and I tried veganism for the 2021, 2022. It was just getting worse, no matter what I would try, until I found a lot of people recently, I would say in the last year and a half, maybe the last 2 years, with the carnivore diet. So uh, it's just that if you are already into a spectrum of insulin resistance, even if you try to reach ketosis with fruits and vegetables, and it will be much harder than completely avoiding carbs. So I'm carnivore since January 2024, and since then it's incredible. I have realized, and I still observe how far I was as long as I keep this diet in, I can see progression, and I see this every day. Recently, my most recent observation was getting back into the guitar playing. Uh, 2 years ago, I stopped. I tried to get back, but was kind of hard. It's been a couple of years too, and I always have some difficulties as anybody's getting back into something except for road dart.
Mhm.
But playing guitar was a bit far, and I tried, and that was pretty much it. 2 years passed, and I'm a year and a half into carnivore now. And in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I'm far better than I was 2 years ago. It's like, what's happening? Neuronal plasticity, brain fog. It gets rid of so many things. It helps on so many aspects. I could speak about health and nutrition, for the rest of the podcast. So it's just that I could also say, like you said, everyone is different. So I would not recommend to go full rampage like I did unless you really read about things and know what you're doing. uh, it's still concerning health problems. So it's phenomenal. It's great, but in the US, you have the advantage of having some carnivore doctors, some people that would assist you. In Canada or in Quebec, especially, the like nutrition association would ban you if you would promote that diet.
Oh my God.
So it's like, okay, I cannot find a carnivore doctors to be really knowing about results and blood tests, and they will only look at cholesterol. It's, yes, I'm ketosis, I need cholesterol. It's great cholesterol, but they would prescribe me statins, and they would tell that I'm near cardiovascular risk. And
Right.
but ketosis is deep ketosis, healing ketosis is really something special, and you should be consulting to reach that state.
For sure. I feel that food is medicine. If you're eating the right
Absolutely.
foods, it will, it prevents things. And look, I like pizza and ice cream, but that's as really bad as I get with food, Sarah. My wife and I eat very clean because that, I mean, it is the fuel you're putting in your body, and it just seems so obvious. And I
Absolutely.
wonder why some folks don't understand that. And we do, everybody is different, and some of us need like unleaded gasoline, some of us need diesel, some of us need different I'm not, I'm not on a carnivore diet or anything, but I understand where it's beneficial for some folks out there. So it's, all power to you guys that you found something that works, and you did it through natural eating, and that to me is beautiful. Have you ever
Yes.
tried go ahead.
Oh, it's just that I had to, because my specialist I don't know how many times my specialist told me, you could be onto immune suppressant medication all your life. You have those symptoms all your life. But as soon as I realized that I have reached ketosis through this diet, and that I observe and knew, oh, this is ketosis. Oh, this is deep ketosis. Oh, that's when I heal. And knowing that I could walk like on clouds or cushions instead of having a little bit of pain when I walk, because arthritis developed in my foot. So I realized that I could heal. I'm still at a point, even 17 years, even with bone erosion in my foot. I if I heal, I will be completely healed.
Yes, 100%.
So it has to be. I had to follow this path. There
Well,
was something there that told me that I'm on the good path, and everything is gonna be like before.
I really hope everyone listening jams everything you just said down home, because it's so true. And you know your body can heal, and
Absolutely.
you find a way. I truly believe that. Have you ever, you spoke about ketosis and whatnot. So I practice, I do intermittent fasting almost every day, where I'll eat, I'll span my meals about 18 to 20 hours apart. And once every 2 weeks, I'll do a 24-hour fast. Do you ever get into fasting to hit that ketosis state, or it's not something you've ever tried?
Yes, but it's not necessary. And at some point where I am into the insulin resistance spectrum, it everything that concerns ketosis behaves differently. It gets me unconventional. So at a point where I've lost all my fat reserves, my body switch into that gets technical, into gluconeogenesis, where I convert amino acids from protein into sugar, because my body is not used to have still a low level of insulin, that it keeps producing insulin, and it doesn't comprehend why I have so low sugar. So it tries to produce sugar because I have no fat and I don't eat enough fat to heal it. It gets complicated. I can barely train, because if I strain too much my muscles, I fall into the Cori cycle, where those doctors that find that cycle, it recycle lactates from the muscles, and get the liver gets back into glucose, and I'm still in glycolysis. So I opt out of ketosis when I fast. At the beginning, it was perfect, but at some point, it did nothing for me. So now I just need to eat a bunch of fat. I really need a lot of fat, more
Gotcha.
than I can imagine. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna just add a bit of TCM oil at precise points. I'm gonna split my meals. So I was doing homemade once meal a day for 3 or 4 months, where I should have stopped. As soon as my fat reserve were down, I had to split my meals, so I would not concentrate too much amount of protein that would convert to sugar and so on. So it's really different when you're sick. So intermittent fasting, yes, it's really good, but again, if you have a disease, if you have something, you should consult, because the behavior can be different with fastings and different diets.
For sure. Well, the take home message is what you put in your body is what you're going to get out of your body, and everybody is different. And make sure that you find what works for you, and what work. It's never going to be McDonald's. It's never going to be
No, never.
Doritos. It's never going to be that, guys. It just isn't.
No,
Sorry.
I would
It's feel
say
one more
that's
time.
seed oils and grains, but
Yeah. Right. And again, there's foods out there that are good for some folks and not good for others. I get that.
yeah,
But there's also food out there that isn't good for anybody, and that's the McDonald's, Burger King, Dorito variety. Anyway,
absolutely.
we're coming up on our time, and before we leave, I do have two
Really?
very important questions to ask you. One would be that if you had a message for the rope dart community worldwide, what would that message be?
Oh yeah, I took notes. I've caught up all your podcasts, so that message would be like and subscribe to Frank's channel. Please like and subscribe. It's obvious, but
Come on, but not. Thank you. But what's a real one? And I
but the real
appreciate that. That's
one,
awesome. What's a real one?
the the real one I thought about was to take breaks when you practice. Take breaks. At some point, it's like that in everything. You study at school, university, and you read on the subjects, and about an hour, 45 minutes, an hour after, you have hard time concentrate. And if you do something 5, 10 minutes, something else, you just change your ideas and get back. Signals in the brains are way more solid, more strength, and it's the same in everything. Rope dart is not different. So if you train for an hour and you really have a lot of energy and you want to do another a second hour, take break. Take just a 5 minute, sit down and think about the next hour. It will help you have the same level of energy as before and keep it. And it will also condition your training, condition your brain, condition your body. We often, more than often, avoid breaks because we are into the mood of I got the energy, I got yeah, but a 5 minutes sometimes will give you a half an hour worth of work during a training. I'm not saying take a break of 2 years. I'm just saying if you know you're doing a long training, really consider taking breaks, 1 or 2 breaks.
That is amazing advice. I agree 100%. And it's something that I think most folks wouldn't say or admit to because it almost seems, counter like, oh, how am I going to get better if I take breaks? It's like, well, look, if you're training hard, then you earned a break. And I agree with Phil. It's like you need to stop and let your body, your mind, your emotions, and your spirit absorb everything you just did, get it down into that DNA level of yourself and who you are, so that when you go to do it again, it becomes automatic. And that, listen, here's something that a lot of people don't understand. Going to the gym and working out, that does not build your muscles. When you lift weights, your muscles do not grow. Your muscles grow after you stop lifting weights.
Exactly.
It's when you take a break. That's when. So I love the learning in rope dart school, but it's the truth. Your muscles do not, you can lift thousands of pounds all day long. Your muscles are not going to grow until you stop lifting 1,000 pounds.
Exactly, exactly. Same for the brain, you know.
Yeah.
So and most of the time we don't realize this. We train, we train, train. Oh, it's so fun, it's great, it's great. We don't see the time pass. A good indicator of it's time to take a break is you miss a shot, you miss that trap, or you miss that catch, and it's like, oh damn, why am I? Well, okay, I need a break. It's just that I need a break. It's not that
That's
it's
why I need,
becoming more difficult.
that's why I need Sarah with me because I'm going to sound like a little bit of a hypocrite, but I find myself there often like, no, again, no, again, no, again, no. And I just keep messing up and messing up and messing up. And Sarah
Yeah.
waits and waits and waits and waits and waits. And then she's like, Frank, you
Ah,
need to take a break. And I'm like, ah, oh, you're so right.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
she's so right. And it's true. And then I go and I do the thing. So.
Yes.
That was a phenomenal answer. And I love it because I think it actually takes courage to admit that. I don't think most folks would want to admit that, but it's true. So, no doubt, the sage,
Yeah.
as always, Philip. The last thing I want to ask you is if you can train rope dart with anybody, alive, dead, anybody on the planet for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it could only be one person. Who would that rope artist be, and what made you pick them?
That will become your most famous question. Um, I know that I can choose only one, but if I can justify my choice by telling some more names, if you allow me.
So here's the thing. It's you can do whatever you want. And actually, tomorrow I'm going to be releasing a rope dart school video that I actually recorded months ago. And you started they rifled off so many names, and I was like, that's not the drill. It's supposed to be hard. I had another person.
Yeah.
She gave multiple names like that. The whole thing is that it's supposed to be one. So I know when and try to justify in your mind why you want to say more than one, but that's the point. It's supposed to be difficult. It's a hard question to answer.
Yeah. Because I really don't know. I would really benefit from spinning with a woman, learning from a woman. You know, the grace they usually demonstrate. It's something that I would say the minority of men can achieve. I don't know if it's the sexual difference, the gender difference that we see more grace into women because, but I feel that I would benefit from. But a name, one person, uh, there's so many new people in the last year, and especially
We know. Who
in
would you
Dart
like to
Arts
rope dart with?
Gathering. Yeah, they all come. We all see them. It's like prodigal. It's like prodigies. We always feel in something that I feels like I took. I don't know how many years to learn some techniques, and how long have you been darting? Oh, it's been like 2 years. Damn it.
Well, right. Well, that's because they have the good fortune of living in a rope dart world where guys like you already made all the tutorials. So it's
Yeah.
like that's the difference. But Phil, come
Uh,
on, man. Who do you want? One person.
for I would say for the creativity, for the mixed with complexity of techniques, with the inhibition, doesn't care about showing mistakes or whatsoever. I would go with Will.
Will Cat.
Will ACB Will.
Yes. Yeah, Will
Will.
Cat. Okay. Wow. I thought you were gonna pick a woman. Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Hell yeah, Will Cat.
yes, but it's like I would say I would have named other
Nope. Nope.
names,
Nope, 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 nope.
but if I have to end up with one, that would be near the way I think when I'm trying to find some things. When I see his videos, it's like he tries hard. He tries not to be the cleanest possible before recording the video, and he just shoots things, and he's really talented. He learned fast. For
He does
this,
learn fast. He
yeah,
learns very fast. That guy. He
it's
learns fast.
outstanding.
He learns fast and extrapolates on what he learned in like 12 hours. He's nuts. I mean, that's such a great answer. Will Cat is, and I see that. It's like you're a very calculated, and he's calculated too. That's not what I mean, but you have a very traditional, martial, firm,
Absolutely.
approach to rope dart. And Will is definitely, I mean, it's just so expansive what he does. And I just see the two of you really kind of yin and yanging together well. That's a
Kind
great
of.
answer. Yeah. Heck yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That
And
would that
you're both
would
great. Look, I know you're both great guys. That's an awesome team up.
You are too.
Yeah. Thank you.
You'd be my
Nope,
second.
nope, 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 nope. All right. Well, before we part ways, any last things you want to get out there? Anything that we didn't talk about that you want to cover in about 30 seconds or?
Yeah, I will have to transfer my channel. It means I will lose my subscriber. I will lose my views. I will just be transferring to a standard Google account uh, to be active again on YouTube and tutorials, because the account I had is on a free legacy suite. It's something that Google wanted to discontinue, and it's complicated. So I kind of prefer to transfer it. So when the video will be released, I will be doing this transfer, and I would like, can I spam Rope Dart Tech with my old tutorials and things?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to ask me for that, of course. So like
Yeah, but
that's it. Your tutorials aren't spam. That's not
okay.
spam.
It's just that I will benefit from the awesome and outstanding family that is in Rope Dart Tech to build again my subscribers. So this summer I could add some new stuff, new tutorials, and new videos. So I'll be definitely back into Rope Dart imminently. I
Awesome.
am already, but online, I will be active this year. Absolutely.
Good. Because the rope dart world needs you. And
I
you
always
have,
need a rope dart. I
right.
must be back, you know.
Yeah. And you just have a I mean, 18 plus years, you have a wealth of experience, knowledge, uh, advice that anyone can benefit from. So, well,
I thank you very much, Frank, for the introduction, this podcast, all you said.
thank you for being on, and I'm so glad we were able to make it work. It was awesome.
Yeah,
It's always great talking to you. I love hanging out with you, Phil. So, yeah.
same.
All right, and I mean what I said. We're gonna get some kind of a rope dart team going, and we are going to storm
Yeah,
a fucking castle at a tournament somewhere. I don't know where, but it's gonna happen.
that would be so awesome. That would be epic. Yeah.
All right, Monfrere. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you, Frank.
To all of our viewers, thank you for, as always, for tuning in. Peace, love, Dart life.
Dart life.